Tell me a little bit, Cameron. Obviously, this comes from some personal experience. Just give me some insight on why you decided to make this documentary.
You know, it's funny. I'm primarily a comedy writer. I've done showcases for networks and stuff like that. I write funny things for the internet sometimes. But last year, I just was struck by the idea that I needed to write something, I needed to make something that was about sort of the realities of some of my dating life. I have some friends who only date white men, who are men of color. I have some friends who would never date white men, and there's people like me who are in between where it's like, I mean, if he's cute, let's see what happens.
Right.
But more than that, you have these experiences with white guys where they'll just say utterly fucking ridiculous things to you, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy, and so I started to talk to other friends of mine to see if they had similar experiences, and the things people told me, I mean, their stuff were horrifying. I mean, there was a guy who he was having sex with someone, the guy was inside him, and he looked at him and was like, you know why this is so hot? It's because you're black and I'm white, and it's wrong. And he was right. Okay. And he was like unwilling to appear on camera, and things like that have happened to me. Literally, I think that the thing that you see, since I first started whatever dating life I've pretended to have, I'm really into mulatto guys thing happened when I was in college. And then we've had a series of unfortunate events since then. So, I mean, hey, it's the whole thing. What I found troubling was just how hard it was to get people to talk about it. And how many people were just like, Cameron, yes, I've had lots of experiences like that, but I can't do it on the internet or on camera. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine, but I wish you would converse with us. I wish you'd join the conversation.
No, I think that's a really true point, that people won't, they don't want to share these experiences. Like you said, it's kind of like, they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to offend somebody, or they just, like I said earlier, maybe it's just that conversation that we're used to having at such an intimate level.
It is. We all had this chat at brunch. Mm-hmm. I mean, what was funnily enough, this week I was talking to a guy that I met last week, and he said, I don't know what race he is. We were talking about something. He made a joke of how I must have bribed a doorman by giving him head or something. And I was like, yep, haha, that's so funny. And he's like, well, you do have those black people lips. Oh. And I was like, I don't even know you. We are not. I met you once. We haven't even had negotiations to have a cup of coffee yet. We can't even. We're not ready for that.
We're not ready for that at all.
And it continues. It continues.
I'm curious to know, because whenever I post racially based things, quote unquote, I get a lot of, those feedback from people who are not a part of that minority that are like, this isn't true, it's not this way, you're being oversensitive. Have you gotten any reactions like that towards the video?
Of course. I think when you're talking about white reactions to it, different reactions to it. I would say I've gotten a little bit of these guys are being oversensitive. One YouTube comment, yes, I read the comments. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. They just keep coming into my email. Yeah. They're just pouring in, and there's 120 of them or something like that. And I was like, well, I got to read some of them. And also, I'm always really curious to see what this piece would bring up for people. I think a lot of, especially white people, go out of their way to try to excuse whatever their own prejudices are, or excuse whiteness in some way when they're faced with something that's objectively offensive. One of the critiques was, these guys just aren't that cute, and that must be why they're not getting hit, why they're having these problems. One person was like, there were a lot of people who were just like, stick with your own kind. And I was like, only one of the guys in the video said he only dates white guys. Everyone else. There's a whole section about learning to love yourself. The Pretty Hurts plays, it's in people that look like you. It's a whole thing. So I mean, that's a whole thing. And so there was stick with your own kind. There was you're being oversensitive. There were a lot of people who said, that very standard white thing that people do, which is well, someone once said to me once that I was pretty for a blonde, and that's the same thing. Right. So I'm offended that you would imply that this is in some way offensive. Mm-hmm. And what I mean, I know what that comes from. It comes from discomfort with the idea that they may be complicit in something that has to do with prejudice.
Yeah.
Just a discomfort with the fact that, well, shit, I don't really talk to white black guys on Grindr, and I mean, so I must be also racist, and I'm not, because being racist is the worst thing in the world. So we find to explain to explain their way out of that. And I just wish that people would be able to watch it and accept that it is a reality that exists. As opposed, I did an interview with Mike, and they asked, what would you like people to take away from this? And I said, that it's real and that it's happening. And it doesn't just happen to gay black men, it happens to gay Asian men, it happens to Asian people, period. It happens to Latino people, period. It happens to anyone who is not the standard. You know what I mean? It happens to everyone. And it may not be something that you're aware of, but the shit is real, and watch your fucking mouth. So there you go.